Hello, good evening and welcome everyone to the next round of the Flat Out E-Racing Championship. This is round 7 and 8. We are in a 10-round series. So we are at Suzuka this week, and then next week we are at Spa-Francorchamps for the final round. We've got 2 races for you tonight. We've just started qualifying. Drivers are on their first flat out lap, so we're going to get some times coming in shortly. And then we're going to have race 1, which will be 20 minutes. Then we'll have a short break, and then we'll have another 20-minute race, but that is going to be a reverse grid. And just remind you what this racing's all about. It's all about V8s, like the supercars in Australia. Who we got coming to the line? Kalunen, who's one of the quick Greek guys. He's just come along the line, 1:58. Timurus has got a 2 minutes. Kevin 77. Now he's usually a fast driver. He's in the 2:03 there, so that's going to put him back. Zamborino 2:01. But that Kalunen time, a Sky liveried BMW, that is a fantastic quick time. Oh, Select must have made a mistake on that one. Now we've only got 5 minutes of qualifying, so they're only going to get 2 flying laps in. So Kalunen is very much out in front there. Look at that, 2.55 seconds ahead of the next place driver, so he's really got in the groove of this one, so I can see he's going to be a really difficult driver to beat. But it's good to see Cajun 100 Noodlester and Mark Parker getting in there for the Brits ahead of Kevin 77, who's been one of the drivers in the past. I think in the last season he cleaned up in the V8 Championship and actually won every single race. So I think he is very much been the man to beat, but Kalunen's come along and look at the pace that he's got at the moment. Let's see as he goes round Spoon Curve, heading back towards 130R. So they're just a reminder, 2 20-minute races. Second race is a reverse grid based on the result of the first, and the fastest 5 drivers have to use a harder compound tyre, so that will mean they'll start from the back of the grid and they'll have harder tyres, so that's going to be quite a challenge, especially around this tricky circuit. So Kalunen's coming through the Casino Triangle up towards the finishing line, so let's see what sort of time he's able to put in. Oh, we've just lost our screen numbers there we go. So coming through now is Timorous. Kevin 77, he got it up in the second, but he's still 1.1 behind Kalunen. So Kalunen's definitely got the pace there. As we move down to some of the other drivers, Noodlester's still on the lap there. He's down in. He's just been picked for 6th by Cajun 100. Oh, very wide there at the exit 130R. He seems to have got it all tidied up into the chicane, and he's going to be the last car to cross the line, and then we're going to be straight into the race. Noodlester nicks back 6th place from Cajun 100. So there's your grids for tonight. So 9 cars on the grid for the night. This great circuit in Japan, owned by the Honda Motor Racing Corporation, and there's obviously been used to them as a test track in the past. So they are the masters of this circuit, but don't seem to have had over the years an awful lot of success on it. But tonight there's going to be no Honda success, because all the cars out there tonight are BMW M6s with the V8 engine, as this is a homage to the V8 series in Australia, the supercar series, which is extremely popular, with has historically been Holden and Ford cars. But here we go, the lights are green and we're away. Rolling start means we shouldn't have too much entertainment before we get to the first corner, as they should be running down their line astern. And as we go into turn 1, Kalunen holds the lead, but Kevin 77, despite having been off the pace in qualifying, has caught up Kalunen very quickly, so I imagine he might well be looking to work on him very quickly indeed. So let's tell you what, I think we're going to hop on board with Kevin 77 there, because I think he is going to be wanting to work over Kalunen very quickly. And interestingly, the Greek guys, along with Select, who were running the Monaco flag, have pulled away very much from the Brit pack there. But here we go into Degner 2, under the bridge which carries the track towards 130R, as we head up towards the hairpin. Is Kevin going to make a manoeuvre here down the inside? Is he going to be late on the brakes? No, he's just got it tight. Kalunen a little bit wide of the apex there. Oh, he's got it sideways on the exit. That would have lost him momentum. So on this long run down to Spoon Curve, can Kevin do anything? It's quite tricky to try and get a manoeuvre done down here, because as they come into it, it's not really a jump on the brakes kind of entry there, but you lose speed into the first part of Spoon, then a little bit more speed in the second part of Spoon. Now here we go, it's all about the exit from Spoon Curve as we head up past the national pits up towards 130R. Kevin 77 is right in the slipstream there. I imagine he's going to follow through 130R. I don't think he'll make a manoeuvre here, but he might try and make a move at the chicane. These older style circuits are quite tricky in a lot of ways to make overtaking manoeuvres on, because we haven't got those modern long straights with sharp corners. And I was commentating earlier on a race from Brands Hatch which has similar problems to this kind of circuit, that the corners are quite often in mid-speed, and they're quite difficult to overtake because you haven't got those heavy braking zones just before the corners. So right under the rear wing there, Kevin, is of Kalunen. Be interesting to see how long Kalunen can put up with this pressure. Let's just work back and hopefully we don't miss anything change up the front there. Zamborino's there in third. He's been a very quick driver as well. He's, I think, come away with a couple of wins in this championship. And then in fourth we've got Timorous, again a driver who's been very competitive. And Select in the Repsol liveried M6 there. A little bit in between the fields there. He's ahead of the Brit drivers, but he's behind the Greek. So he's a bit of the filling in the sandwich there between the two different nationalities. And then who's doing well in the Brit pack? Well, we've got Cajun 100 Kevin. He's sixth in the Valvoline liveried car there, just going under the bridge. And then followed by Mark Parker, who had his first win in the GT4 series a few weeks ago, a cracking race there on the reverse grid. And then in eighth is Noodlester in the Vodafone liveried car, and playing a curveball from the pack is R80, which is John Riley that organises this series. He's there in the Mustang, which was one of the optional cars there for this series, but majority of people have gone for the BMW, but John has gone against the general theme of general choice of people, and he's gone for that R80. Interesting, he's got Rich Energy sponsorship there. Hopefully he's done better than Haas Racing of actually getting the money out of him to pay for his racing. Oh, and we just missed it. Just as I was fearful, we have missed. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Great. The replay's going to give it to us. Kevin 77, round 130R, looking down the inside at the casino. Yep, lovely manoeuvre there. Just got a good run out of 130R and they went straight down the inside as they approached the casino chicane and got the move done. So let's just get back to where we were before. So just bring everything back up. There we go. So Kevin 77 out there in front now, but Kalunen's not given up on it by the look of it. He's hanging in there. Now we know Kevin 77 is quick, and maybe it's just taken him a little while tonight to get his eye in. So we're just coming up to quarter distance with 15 minutes to go in this race. So come round the hair. Oh, I think Kalunen had a bit of a slide on there. I don't know whether he was a bit late on the brakes and was worried he was going to collect Kevin there, but he was certainly a little bit all over the place and went in that corner, but he certainly doesn't look like he's given up on this first place. So whether he's going to try and do a repeat of Kevin's manoeuvre. Oh, he's right under the rear wing of that car. I think we're going to hop on board because this is going to be close. So here we go, out spoon curve. So let's see what effect the slipstream has as we hurtle up towards 130R. Look, we're getting closer, closer. Now he needs to hold that round 130R. Not let it get loose. You can go virtually flat out around here, but try not to run wide on the exit. Is he going to launch it up the inside? No. Cross the curves there, not taking too much, otherwise you can end up with a penalty. So no, couldn't quite get the manoeuvre done. Oh, and it looks like Kevin's going quite defensive here into turn one. He obviously feels maybe he's a little bit vulnerable there as they head down towards the first corner. It is remarkably tight there, the racing. Let's work our way back through the field. We can see the first three there. We'll jump on with Timorous there in fourth. If we bring up all the right data. So KTM livery there, which I think has been lifted from MotoGP. So he's a little bit out on his own there, but what I can see is a little bit of a battle there between Noodlester and R80. It looks like Mark Parker's made a mistake because he's fallen back, but certainly R80 with that left field choice of the Mustang there, he's just 1 second behind Noodlester. So maybe that choice of that Mustang is going in R80's direction and favouring him in this battle. So as they go through the Degnas, Degna 1, Degna 2, most of the entries to these corners are not the usual heavy braking sharp turn that we've got used to with a lot of modern race circuits. This is an old school circuit. I think it was built in the 60s and doesn't have that kind of layout to it. It's just following the natural contours of the ground and layout that they could come up with, rather than being something specifically designed for overtaking. So it does provide a great challenge for the driver. It's like the old road circuits of the past, like the Spa-Francorchamps and the Rouens and Reims circuits, one that's been naturally formed rather than sort of forced onto the layout that someone's particularly looking at trying to create. So let's just pop back. So Mark Parker there with his Scottish liveried car there. I'm sure he was very pleased how Scotland kept their end up against England the other night. Not that I follow football at all, I have zero interest, but everybody pointed out to me that apparently that England were fairly rubbish. Oh, I think Cajuns had a problem there. Let's just have a quick hop back and have a look. Oh, he was already in the gravel track by then. Where's he? Oh, it looks like he's out-braked himself at coming into the chicane, and has just gone too far on it. Yeah, because that's the second part. So he'd already had his incident by the time we'd got there. So R80 then has been elevated up into 7th. So he's in the Brit Pack race. He's there in 2nd at the moment, and he's dropped back probably about just on 2 seconds there from Noodles. So he's lost about a second the last couple of laps. So doesn't seem to quite have the pace to get Noodles to there, but certainly he's done well. He's 9 seconds up the road from Cajun, so I think that's going to secure his spot there. So we'll head back up to the front, because I think that's where we're going to see the immediate action. I will keep an eye on what everybody else is up to. But Kevin77 and Clunan have definitely got a race-long battle going on here. We're just coming up to half distance, and I think this is going to rely on one or the other of making a mistake to settle this one. But Clunan looks like he's looking left and right, just trying to work out a way to get past Kevin77. And maybe the only way by is to repeat the move that Kevin did on him, which was exactly this corner now, going down the inside of the first part of the chicane. He just needs to get a good run out of R130 to do that. So Zamborino doesn't seem to quite have the pace tonight. He's just that little bit further back at the moment, and as we can see, Timorous has dropped off quite considerably there in the background. So while we're looking at this, I'll just see if I can pull up the details of where the championship is. Just give me a second. Just need to lay my fingers on it. Here we go. So Kevin77 had dropped out for a round. In fact, he dropped out for 2 rounds. So he's now on the comeback trail, because I believe he can do this round and the next one. But the leader at the moment is Clunan, and in 2nd place is Zamborino. So this is going to work well for both those drivers. The one who's going to be a big loser tonight is Panos, who has not been able to join us, because Timorous is in 4th and Select is in 5th. So this way, we're Clunan running in 2nd. That is going to do his championship hopes quite a lot of positive energy. I was just distracted there, because look how close Clunan is on Kevin77 there. He really wants that spot back, but Kevin just doesn't seem to make mistakes. In all the season 1, he just seemed to be able to pull out in the first race, where he generally qualified at the front. In the second races, with the reverse grid, he seemed to, cleanly battle his way through from the back of the grid to the front in about 2 laps. So Clunan was on 138 points, Zamborino 128. So this gap is going to widen with the result of Clunan finishing ahead of Zamborino. But obviously, if Clunan can get in front of Kevin, that will add to that gap. So in the Brit Pack battle, Noodlester is 6th, Burnt Fright, who's not with us tonight, is in 7th. And then Kevin77, he's in 8th, but having missed those 4 rounds, I think he's going to get his way back up probably to about 5th in the championship, probably by the end of tonight, because I think he's No, actually, no. I'm doing I was doing the calculations in my head. That's always dangerous. He'll bring himself up, but all other drivers in front will also move up as well. So I think by the end of the season, he's probably going to bring himself up a little bit. So Noodles is certainly going to do well in this, because Cajun is the next driver in the championship, and he from the Brit Pack, and he is 34 points behind. So I think Noodles is going to be fairly close to securing the Brit Award, shall we say. So here we go. We've got just over 7 minutes remaining. Kevin 77 and Clunan still right. Oh, I'll say they're close, but what I hadn't spotted was, I think Noodlester must have made a mistake. I didn't spot that while I was working through the championship. And in the unfancied Mustang, John Riley, R80, is out in front of the Brit contingent. So as he heads through the Degners, and how far? And Noodles is about 5 seconds behind with 6.5 minutes to go. I think John, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes there, sorry, I'm referring to R80, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, I think he's going to have that one fairly sorted. But time will tell. That gap, I'll keep an eye on that gap. It was about 5 seconds, it's now 4.5, so at this stage, let's have a look, see where the leaders are. They're just coming up to complete the lap. So if we go, bring the data up. That wasn't what I was looking for. I want to jump on board with second place, because I want to know what the lap times are. So let's see what we can bring up. No, that was not the one. But I think the lap times are around about 2 minutes, so we're going to have about another 3 laps. But look how close this is up front. I think this is going to be a grandstand finish where Clunan is going to just decide to launch it on the last lap. Now he's probably aware, if he's conscious of the championship, that he doesn't want to have a mistake and lose a position to Zamborino behind. But I think he also will want to be able to grab that win. So Zamborino's now 7-8 seconds behind. So it's very much down to these two. So out of the hairpin as they head round this long right-hander down towards the spoon curves. They will be jumping on the brakes. Here we go. Down a couple of gears. Let's see what they do. Let's get the in-car info. So they're down to third, and then down to second, the second part. And this is where traction's all important. Trying to exit this corner on the long run back down the national pit garages on the way to R130, which is so named because it's a 130 metre radius, or was originally. So he's getting so close, Clunan. Can he make it stick? Kevin's going almost defensive there. He's putting his car in the middle of the track, so Clunan's got no option to go one way or the other. It's clean, he's allowed to do it, but I think Clunan has just got to come up with something that little bit different to find a solution of which way he's going to make this work. So let's just, we'll keep an eye on these two guys. Oh, Kevin's made a mistake. We've not been expecting that, have we? That's something completely new. Let's have a look. Here we go. So we're coming down into the first corner. This is incredible. First corner. Oh, he just got out on the green stuff on the edge, and he made the mistake. And he's round, and Clunan's gone. So he's spinning it round to get it going again. Let's just see where he's got to if we get ourselves back to the right screen. There we go. So we'll just hop up the front. So Clunan's away and running. We've got 3 minutes 13 to go. So I think he's got that one definitely in the bag. So Zamborino's in second. So that's not overly helped Clunan championship wise, because Zamborino has jumped up a spot as well as Clunan. So Kevin 77's in third. And that is in about 9 races, or probably more than that, that I've seen Kevin make a mistake. That was actually incredible. He just got a little bit wide there on the exit of the first turn, got those tyres out on that green, probably AstroTurf, which is on the edge of the track. Oh, and Kalunen's trying to do the same thing. And that back end, he just probably had a little bit too much power in the back end, over-rotated, and that was it. It was all over. So let's work our way back, see what's happening with Noodlester and R80. Well, this battle could develop because Noodlester's got that gap down from about 5 seconds it was a few laps ago down to 1.2. So there isn't much that I think is going to happen elsewhere. So we'll stick on board with this battle because I think this is where it's going to develop. Now, it's down to 0.7 of a second. So I think this is going to get juicy right towards the end of the race. So here we go, up to 130R, dab of the brakes there for the Mustang in front. So I reckon we might be close to, I reckon we've got 2 laps left because the leaders have crossed the line. So they're going to get round. So yeah, we've got 2 laps remaining. So here we go. Oh, look at that Mustang going really defensive, despite the fact it's 0.6 of a gap. He's rubbing that wall all the way down. Good job there was no one coming out of the pits. Here we go, first turn. Down, let's see what they're doing gears wise. So yeah, that's the same as what I do. Second gear around this bit, gas it on the exit. Oh, he's pulling in closer and closer there, isn't he? You can see that Mustang getting bigger and bigger in the front view. Oh, bit loose there in front. Oh, the Mustang, just the back end just stepped out, and he just got a little bit wild there again, and oh, he's through. Now that's a fairly unusual place to overtake, but I think we could probably put that down to the fact that was more down to a mistake by R80 than actually a stunning overtaking manoeuvre by Noodlester. But he was there to take the opportunity. He was catching really quickly anyway, and possibly that forced a mistake from R80 with the Mustang there. But still, the Mustang's doing very well, as that's not the favoured car of this series. So round the hairpin they go. Oh, bit loose. Maybe that Mustang has used up its tyres a bit more than the BMW has done. So let's just move back up the front. So yeah, with 15 seconds remaining, Kalunen has just crossed the finishing line. So what will actually happen is all the drivers that cross the finishing line, once the checker flag is out, which is now, will finish the race as soon as they cross the line. So that's basically everybody from Timorous down. So this is almost just a lap of honour for Kalunen, because it's just him, Zamborino and Kevin, Kalunen's got 8.5 seconds on Kalunen, so I don't see him being caught unless he makes some kind of mistake. We can hop with second, see whether Zamborino's going to come under pressure from Kevin. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. Noodlester and R80 finished in the order we've seen them. The BMW got by the Mustang there. We'll just hop on board with Mark Parker. He's there in 8th, heading up towards the finish. Crosses the line. And then in 9th place, just coming across the line there in the Valvoline livery BMW, is Cajun 100. So we'll just hop back with the leaders as they're heading their way round to Spoon Corner. Using all the curbs there, just being careful of the green outer edge of those curves, because that is slippery and can catch you out, particularly if you've got steering angle on. And a little bit too much throttle, it will spin you around and spit you out. So there we go, round 130R. Zamborino isn't going to be caught by Kevin unless he really makes a big mistake. So here we go, Kalunen coming around the final corner, down the main straight, quick flash of the lights, and congratulations there, well done Kalunen. First place in the first race. And then across the line comes Zamborino 13 in second, and Kevin 77 comes across in third. So well done to everybody in that race. And I'll say, a very surprising mistake there from Kevin 77, because that's something we haven't seen from him before. There we go, Cologne celebrating victory, which is how reinforces lead at the top of the championship. I think we will have pulled out about 3 points on Zamborino in second place. So where the gap was 10 points, it's now 13. So we'll just move, put the full result up there for you. There we go. So what will happen now is those top 5 drivers will have to use a harder compound tyre, which will mean they've got less grip, and the grid is going to be the reverse of that result. So for example, Cajun 100 will be on pole, then Mark Parker, R80, Noodlester, Select, etc. So those guys have not only got to get their way through the guys at the front of the field, they've also got to do it on much harder tyres than what the guys at the front have got. So that should hopefully tighten things up, and the second race will be quite exciting. So that race is going to be off in, waiting for the notification of start time, which should be hopefully just in a few minutes. 21:52, which is 2 minutes left. So that is just a couple of minutes away. Just bear with me a second. So that's all the race settings changed. So same length of race, still going to be 20 minutes, it's just going to be a reverse grid from where we were. There's no qualifying, the qualifying is a result of the first race. So we're just wondering why I can't get into the race, because we do have a bit of a technical error. No, we don't, we're there, we're away. So let's see. Gone quiet there because I'm slightly worried we've got a technical error. No, we haven't, we're away. That's good news. So you can see the drivers towards the front of the grid, who were the slower ones in the first race, will be on super softs, and the other racers will be on softs. So I'd imagine they're quickly nipping out to try and get an idea of the level of grip that they've got. Oh, we're going to be away quickly here. To just try and get a feel for the level of grip, so they'll know what to expect when they get to the first corner. So I believe we're on a rolling start again for the second one. So that should keep it all fairly sensible down to the first corner, and also has the advantage of nobody at the back getting a great launch and skittling into the pack at the first corner. Which is obviously spoil the event for quite a lot of people in a short period of time. So, and as already mentioned, with this layout of the track, it's not going to be quite so easy for those fast guys at the back to get their way through if the guys at the front hold their line. So it's a case of the ones at the front just sticking to their line, making sure they've got it neat and tidy, and not leaving those big wide doors open to let through the other drivers. So let's just, oh yeah, and we're away. It's finally going to start in 9 seconds. And we are going to be away. Here we go. Suzuka V8s, flat out e-racing. If you want to get involved, we have some spaces on the grid. Join the flat out e-racing group on Facebook, and the guys there are really friendly, and they'll give you a guide of how you can join in. We've got one more round of this season, which is a Spa Francorchamps next week, so that would be a great opportunity for you to get involved. just to see what the racing's like. And then following that, we will be starting our third season of the V8s. These tend to be fairly short seasons, about 5 weekends worth, so you're not putting in a long commitment. So here we go. Cajun 100 on pole. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Foot flat to the floor, down to the first corner. You can see how far back those guys at the back have got to get. They're not even crossing the finishing line yet. So, and with this rolling start, gives these guys at the front a chance to get away. So they just need to keep it on the island, keep it tidy, maybe even work as a pack. Because if they keep it tight, it's going to be much more difficult for those faster guys to get through. So just got to not get overexcited and just let these guys through. So it already looks like Kevin 77 is through to 7th already from 9th, because he would have. Oh, sorry, no, I tell you, because obviously he started 3rd in them. He finished 3rd. I was just assuming that Kevin 77 had won, which is what he's done in all the previous races that I've seen him in. So here we go. Everyone keeping it neat and tidy through this first lap, but it is starting to bunch up around that 3rd, 4th, 5th place. And Kevin 77 now, obviously he lost out in the first race by having a mistake. Oh, what's going to happen there? Oh, R8, he's gone deep, and it looks like Noodlester is going to nip out the inside on the exit of the hairpin, but R8 is hanging on to the inside lines to go around this long right hand of the spoon. But if Noodlester can hang on to it, he will then be on the inside for the spoon curve. But right behind, Select and Timorous are getting in the battle as well, and Timorous has slid up the inside of both Select and R80. Oh, getting a bit hip and shoulders there, and on the inside, Zamborino and Kevin 77 has slid through. So unfortunately, R80 was the big loser in that, and he got shuffled right down the pack. And the big loser at the moment is Kalunan, because he is still in 9th place, and we're nearly the whole way around the first lap. So, Cajun 100, Mark Parker at the front, trying to make a fast getaway. And Mark Parker has form of doing really well. Oh, look at that, Kalunan up the inside of R80 into the chicane. That was a real last-minute manoeuvre. Oh, hello, who's gone off there? I think that looked like possibly Noodlester. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's pulling himself out of the gravel. So, unfortunately, he's dropped away from that leading pack. But Cajun 100's got a 2-second lead at the moment over Mark Parker. So, oh, and it looks like he's gone a little bit deep there, but he has got away with it. But what he needs is for Mark Parker to hold this up hold these guys up. So particularly through this section, it's very difficult to get an overtaking manoeuvre done, because these mid-speed corners are quite difficult to find an alternative route through. So possibly as we climb up over the crest here, up towards Degner 1, sometimes the brave souls can take a bit of a dive down the inside, but I can see Cajun 100 Kevin is trying to make fast his exit, and Mark Parker is doing a sterling job there, hanging on to 2nd place, and he has got form of doing well of hanging on in these reverse grid races. So let's see if he can do it here. So up to the hairpin, on the brakes, keep it neat and tidy, keep it to the apex, not too deep. But yeah, the Greek squad are definitely creeping up in a pack behind him. They can smell blood, and unfortunately the blood they can smell is Mark Parker's. So in the meantime, Cajun 100 is still hanging out there. We are 3.5 minutes into the race, and it's good to see that the Greek guys haven't been able to get through as quick as they have done in the past. So it suggests the pace of the British guys is getting better as this season goes on. But look at them, line astern there, all 4 hanging together. If I was Mark Parker, I would put my hand over the rear view mirror so I couldn't see them coming, and I can just focus on the race. So here comes Kevin. We've seen him do this manoeuvre before, up the inside of the casino triangle. Oh, Zamborino, that was a little bit naughty. He spun Mark Parker around there. Oh, I think there's going to be repercussions for that one. Let's have a quick look back. So, Mark Parker, come on, Kevin 77, nice manoeuvre down the inside there. Yeah, ooh, I think that was a little bit overly touchy-feely there. I think that was not really quite what we would normally expect. I don't think it was an intentional error. I just think it was just unfortunately as I'm trying to think who it was. Who's in ninth? Wake up, England. Mark Parker. As Mark Parker turned in, unfortunately, Zamborino was there, so it was quite difficult for him to avoid him there. Excuse me. So Kevin 77 is still on the chase on Cajun 100, and he's pulled that gap down from about 2 seconds to about 0.6 in just about a lap. So unfortunately, I think for Cajun 100 there, I think it is going to be a little bit inevitable of what's going to happen next. But it's interesting, I thought that in the background there, I think I saw R80 in the Mustang there was still hanging on to the back of this pack. So here we go, round the spoon curves. Oh, look at that, it's down to under 0.3 of a second between Kevin 77 and Cajun 100. The two Kevins go head to head. Is Cajun 100 going to go defensive? No, he just hasn't quite got the drive, has he? They're absolutely side by side. No, and he's had to tuck back in. Well done, Cajun. Hang on to that spot. Now, we know where Kevin goes well here, and look, he's doing it. He's got that exit from R130 absolutely spot on, isn't he? Slight hop of the curb there. Oh, let's have a look what's happening in what's happening there in the background. That was Select. Oh, that's all getting a bit touchy-feely there by the look of it, between Select and, let's hit all the right buttons, and Kalunan. So Kalunan's obviously quite desperate to get through. Go down to the first corner. He's taken the lunge, and has he got the move done, or has he gone deep? No, he's got it done. He's managed to draw it back down to the apex. So we're around about a third of the race gone. Kevin 77 has got his way through from 7th to 1st, but Kalunan is the one that's lost out. He started last because of his win in the first race, and he's only up to 5th at the moment, so it'll be quite interesting whether he's going to have the pace to work his way through. He was certainly quick in the first race, and he was as quick as Kevin 77. It's just whether he's got the pace to catch Timorous, Zamborino and Cajun. And it's great to see Cajun 100 hanging on so well there, but he's now under pressure from Zamborino. And Zamborino, oh, Cajun's gone deep there at the hairpin. He's running wide on the exit. Oh, and Zamborino's got the move done, sadly. Unfortunately, that was a mistake from Cajun. He was a bit late on the brakes there into the hairpin, went a bit deep, and was a mile wide of the apex, and Zamborino took full advantage of it. So let's have a quick look, see what we've got going on. Just working my way through the numbers here. Cajun's hanging on quite well there in 3rd. Timorous is in 4th place there, but he's not making great inroads, I don't think. Well, mind you, he's dropped it from 2.4 to 2.1. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, he's coming down to 2 seconds, so I think the one that I'm surprised is not on the move at the moment is there, Kalunan, who I thought would be very much moving through Timorous and Cajun 100. And the big winner in this at the moment is going to be Zamborino, because he's 2nd in the championship, and this is going to close the gap to Kalunan. So with just 1 round left to go, that is going to make quite a difference. So Kalunan is going to be very keen to get past these two in front. And as we head up to the Degners, you can see how close he's getting to Timorous. But as the great Murray Walker said, catching is one thing, passing is another. And I think that's going to be very much the case. Cajun may not quite have the pace of these two guys, but he's got track position at the moment, and he's doing a grand job of hanging on to as we head towards half distance. As they exit the hairpin around this long right hand as you head up towards the spoon curve, so named because it's the shape of a spoon. It wasn't a long meeting to discuss that name, was it? So we're closing up these three very much on each other. very much the Timorous and Kalunen seem to have the faster pace at the moment than Cajun. But he's definitely, Cajun 100 is doing a great job here hanging on. We've got basically at half distance and he's still hanging on there in the podium positions, which is great to see. And this is how this reverse grid was designed to mix the order up a little bit. So as we go into the, oh, that was a bit too touchy-feely there, I think, Timorous. Don't think we were quite expecting that approach from the rear. But no harm done, nobody's spun around. So will Cajun go defensive as they go towards the first corner? I think he feels he's got the pace. They're all in the same kind of cars. So Timorous is having a quick look, but no, nothing doing there. So it's all about hauling the car down for this second part of that first corner, because it just wants to run wide on you, and you're just trying to scrub off the speed to get it to bring you down to that second apex. And Kalunen at the back, he's looking quite keen to get by all this. He can see Zamborino disappearing up the road, and not that he's going to lose his championship lead, he just doesn't want that points gap to be shrunk any more than it needs to. And if he can jump these two guys, he'll only lose 2 points to Zamborino in the championship. So let's just run through the other guys, see who's doing what further back. Well, no, I'll tell you what, we'll hang on to these guys because I think this is going to boil over in a minute. So we head up towards the hairpin again. Cajun 100 taking a nice, neat, tidy line there on the inside. That's where some of the other guys have made mistakes here. But he's still hanging on there. Behind him in Select down there in 6th. He's a little bit further back. And Noodlestone 7th, Mark Parker 8th. So that means R80 is in 9th. So that Mustang's not really working for him in this second race. So, oh, looks like Timorous may have got the move done coming out of the second spoon. He was just a little bit tighter there. Now, Kalunen's trying to take advantage as well. And he's using Timorous as the battering ram. Oh, they're 3 abreast into R130. That will not work. Oh, it's all a bit touchy-feely, but they've all got through it. Unfortunately, Cajun was the big loser, but he's going to try and get that place back. Has he got it done? I don't know. Cajun's there, and Kalunen's in front. So, no, that didn't work for him there. And in the background, it looks like Select is now coming into play on Cajun. Now, Select is a quick driver, but he's not quite as quick as the Greek guys, but he has been quicker than the British guys. So, be interesting to see. We're going to have 2 little battles developing here. I think Kalunen's going to have a go at Timorous, and Select will have a go at Cajun. I'm not quite sure which one of these is going to bubble over first. I think we'll look at the battle for 5th and 6th between Cajun 100 in 5th and Select in 6th. So as we work our way out of the S's down towards the Degners, Select is getting quite close there. You can see that 5th place just in front of him. Oh, let's just hop up a little bit further. We'll drop up with Kalunen as well, because he's all over the back of Timorous there. Look at that. Now he's gone for a wider entry there. I think he's trying to get a better exit, maybe see if he can get something done as they head up towards the spoon curves. But as these cars are so equal on power, it's very difficult to make an overtaking manoeuvre, because everybody's working on the same parameters of performance. The only variable is the driver. And the other thing with these Greek guys is they are very good at looking after their tyres as well. And they also, when the races are fuel dependent, they are also quite good at getting the fuel. Oh, and look at that, he's looking at the wide entry is Kalunen into R130. Now, is he going to try and make a launch up the inside here? No, he's not close enough. So taking great chunks out of the curve, trying to get a good exit here, which he looks like he has. Is he going to be able to do something down to the first corner? No, wasn't quite a good exit. He is close enough to be in the slipstream. Just 0.2 of a second. Here we go. Is he going to? He's going to stick that nose out. He's going to have a look. No, not quite close enough. Will Timorous get it down? Oh, I think Timorous braked a bit harder than what Kalunen was expecting there. We'll hop back to 6th place, see how they are getting on with between Cajun in 5th and Select in 6th. Again, very similar to the battle up front. Now, just quarter of the race left, just 5 minutes racing left to go. So, as we come out of the S's, over the crest, Cajun is doing a cracking job of hanging on to that position there. But we will just hop back up. Oh, and it looks like there's another battle there developing further back. We'll come externally. Oh, look at this. Look how close they are. Great respect between these drivers that they're not bashing doors or wing mirrors or bumpers, but still having really good racing. So, and a little further back there, Select still trying to get by Cajun. Oh, has Cajun gone wide there? Yes, he has. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's made a bit of a boo-boo there as they come around the hairpin. I think he just ran wide. I don't think there was any other involvement. I think he just ran wide as we came out. Yeah, he just, look, he's on the marbly stuff and rattled it along the barrier, and then round it went into the barrier the other side. So easy, just such a small mistake, and so quickly you lose the position there. So in amongst all that, I think, oh, Kalunan has got by Timorous. Typically all the action kicks off at once, but Timorous isn't giving it up. He's having a look down the inside as we come in the first corner. Can he get the move done? No. Kalunan's still got it. Oh, maybe he hasn't. It looks like Kalunan's gone deep in that corner and Timorous nearly got it back. So I don't think this is over yet. And I think the other will just hop back. So I think there's another battle developing a little bit further back. We've got just over 3 minutes left, with Mark Parker and R80 battling for 8th position here. They're quite close at the moment, but they're not quite as close as Kalunan and Timorous, so I'll hop back with them for the moment. We'll keep an eye on the positions further back, see if we get any developments there. So they're all running very close, but Kevin 77 will just say hello to him. He's very much got this one done. Didn't have the perfect first race, which we've come so used to seeing from Kevin. So he got third in the first race, but it meant he was a little bit further forward in the reverse grid race, the second one. And then in second in San Marino, similar, he was actually behind Kevin at the start of this race because he'd finished second in the first race. And then the third, Kalunan, who started last. So the 3 Greek guys at the front there have ended up in exactly the same positions as they started this reverse grid race. Now Kalunan seems to have got a gap now on Timorous, so maybe Timorous has made a little bit of a mistake there. So we're just coming up. I think we're just possibly starting the last lap. Just depends when they cross the finishing line. It's going to be tight. So Cajun 100 there in 7th. Howdy's end up very well. Oh, he's dropped back behind Noodlester. I didn't spot that one. So Noodlester has come through for 6th. Whereas Cajun 100 was back then there was Select. Maybe that's when I think Cajun 100 had a bit of a coming together with Timorous at the chicane. Or maybe it was a Select. Oh, and further back. Maybe too late to catch it on replay, but let's have a quick look. R80 got the move done on Mark Parker. I think he got that done before the chicane. I think he may have got that done at R130, so that got that manoeuvre done. So let's just see what have we got anything else developing. I think the nearest we, oh hello, just as who did I R80 just got that position off Mark Parker and then has lobbed it in the wall. That's not really what we wanted to see ideally. Let's see if we can see what he got wrong. So he's coming into the first part of the S's. You got the left, the right. Mark Parker's behind. Oh, he just got that rear wheel off onto the curb and round it went. You go straight to the scene of the accident with that one. So let's just go back onto our original feed. So just 22 seconds remaining. We'll hop on board with the leader, see where he is. I think he's going to get to the finishing line. Now, tactically, he could back off, but I don't think he's going to, because he's going to have his victory lap. So I don't... Oh, possibly Zamborino is going to... Yeah, but... Right, time is up. That's the end of race time. But basically it means everybody, apart from the two leaders... Kalunan lost an awful lot of time there. Kalunan's now finished in 4th, Timorous in 5th, Select in 5th. Noodles to come through, best of the Brits in there in 6th. Cajun 100 had a great start to the race, unfortunately faded as he went on. He's just coming around the last corner, across the finishing line. He's finished in 7th. So Mark Parker, he won out on that battle between him and R80. He's come through in 8th place. And then, excuse me, there we are in 9th is John Riley, R80, who organises and puts the series together, so we're grateful for him. He's come through in 9th. So we'll just, for the final bit, hop on board with Kevin77 just to see how the Masters do it. So here we go. Around the right hander, up into the first part of Spoon, down to 3rd. Little bit of curve on the inside, don't run wide onto the slippy stuff. Down to 2nd for the second part of Spoon, which is a little bit tighter. Use a bit of curve on the exit, and then absolutely flat out on the run down towards R130R. So by the national pits there on the right hand side. Yeah, how is he flat out? Pretty close. 147 miles an hour at the apex. Then hard on the brakes, down to first gear, take a chunk of curb, take another chunk of curb, and then down on the run towards the finishing line. Flash of the lights, Kevin77 crosses the line, wins the race, and then second there is Zamborino 13, who gets 2nd place. So well done to everybody tonight. We'll just see Kevin77 celebrate his race, and we'll just pull up the race results for you. Up 6 positions, yeah. Started in 7th, got his way up to 1st. So there we go, race result. As we said, Kevin in 1st, Zamborino 2nd, and rounding out the podium was Kalunan in 3rd. So great racing there tonight. One more round to go in this series. As I said, if you want to get involved, look out for Flat Out E-Racing on Facebook. Or there's details of the Discord below the YouTube video that you're watching at the moment. We'll be back next week for the final round, and we are going to the incomparable Spa-Francorchamps, so that should produce us some fantastic racing. So look forward to seeing you then.